Europeans, when we think about food, it's in our mind. It's like childhood memories or something like that. But when you are in Southeast Asia and you talk about food, water comes into your mouth. It's more from the taste.
Hello, my name is Renae Leith-Manos. Welcome to this podcast, Where to From Here, featuring conversations about luxury travel and how it's changing in every pocket of the globe.
Hi guys, today we're going to one of my favourite parts of the world, and that's Bali. And we're going to speak to Christoph Pouls, who's the hotel manager at the InterContinental in Jimbaran Bay. Now, I am so lucky because I stayed at this hotel really recently to do a review, which you can see on my website. And I really, really enjoyed my stay. One of the many great things about staying there is it's really close to the airport, so you don't have a problem with traffic, because traffic is becoming an issue in Bali. But the hotel itself is just on this beautiful stretch of beach. It is glorious. The grounds are incredible. I think I've lost count of the number of swimming pools there are. Christoph can tell us. And beautiful, magnificent suites. I stayed in two different ones when I was there. One had 2 levels and one was 1 level and very spread out. I had the most amazing teppanyaki Japanese meal when I was there, which I loved, and even a massage overlooking the ocean. But for me, one of the highlights of the InterContinental Jimbaran Bay was the healing session I had with this amazing, magical man. And we sort of talked through my life and burnt some of the negatives and wrote down the positives that I wanted from my life. It just sort of encapsulated everything that I love about Bali and about this hotel. So Christoph, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's fantastic, and you have so much passion when you talk about our resort here. I really like that. So yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, well, I'm very passionate about luxury hotels, but I really am very genuine about the wonderful stay that I had with you. And of course, that's where we met. And we met in the gorgeous club there, which is amazing. The InterContinental Club, it's such a bonus. I think you get it when you book a suite or if you're a member of the InterContinental. But what a great bonus.
Yeah, I think we consider this as a resort within a resort. Like it's a little, it's a little area. I mean, as you experienced, where we have a dedicated pool, we have a dedicated bar, we have a dedicated lounge. It's a dedicated piece of the grounds, which also includes butler service. So it's really relaxed. Actually, we now decided that from December onwards, we're going to make it an adult only pool, so it's going to be even more relaxing, and you can really recharge and throughout the day. So yeah, it is a very beautiful part of our resort, which is yeah, it's stunning, and it's big, it's mature. I like to use the word mature, not old. But yeah,
How old is the resort? It's and how big is it?
yeah, it's 30 years old. But we, of course, after coming out of this COVID period, we renovated very. The owner invested a lot of money in uplifting the resort, so the experience doesn't look like a 30-year-old resort. But yeah, it's 14 hectares. So actually, our jogging track is around the building, and it's 1.5K. So if you do that 2 or 3 rounds in the morning around our building, then you had a good workout. But yeah, when we talk about well-being, I think that's one of the strengths of where we are. Where when you think of Bali, a lot of people, I mean, it depends what experience you had, whether you were in Nusa Dua, whether you were in Kuta, whether you were in Sanur or Seminyak. It's all very different parts, right? So here in Jimbaran, I think it's very good for wellness, like well-being. And I'm not only talking about working out in the morning, like you can do at the outdoor gym with a fantastic view at the ocean, banging your ropes and stuff like that. But it's also about emotional well-being and about spiritual well-being. And I think today's travelers really are craving for that. I think luxury is evolving in that way also. When you talk about luxury travel, it's about your well-being, right? It's
Yes.
always about
Yeah.
that.
Well, people, the biggest thing that I'm hearing from the luxury traveler is they don't want to come back putting on weight. People want to go away and they want to stay healthy or get even healthier. And it's not just a body thing, though, it's also a mind thing. People are under a lot of stress. The cost of living globally is huge. Geopolitically, people, all countries are under stress and major change. And people are looking to dump that stress and really come back to themselves when they go away. And that's what I experienced at your resort.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned, I think, tarot or palm reading, what we do here. So it's all that. And we have the two temples on site, one small temple, one bigger temple, where you can really relax. You can have a blessing. I even do it. So it's just, and also the location. We were talking about location and about the grounds. So when you're here, the garden is very mature. It's beautiful. We have a lot of squirrels and animals, so the kids are happy with that as well. But it's just such a nice garden to be in and to relax, and you have the ocean in front of you. It's a big
Yeah, no,
like our beach.
absolutely. And look,
The beach
Christoph, you're
is,
from Belgium.
yeah.
What is it about Bali? I mean, you're really well positioned to give us a bird's eye view of why do people get so passionate about Bali?
I think again, like you have Bali has a lot to offer. Like these different communities, or villages, whatever you want to call them. I mean, we haven't even talked about Ubud yet. I was highlighting Kutu, Seminyak, and all those areas where you can, do your thing as a young traveler, maybe, or like find your trends, what relates to food and beverage. Um, but then you have the rice fields in Ubud. If you go up north, you can swim with dolphins or see dolphins. You can, in Ahmed, go snorkeling, diving. You can just jump on a boat to Lombok or to Nusa Penida. So it has quite a lot to offer, and it's all in a little paradise. And I think also what attracts is the culture. Like the people in Bali are make the difference, right? Also, before this podcast, I was thinking like there's something, I don't know. Do you know Nyepi days? Like it's the Balinese New Year. It's when everything gets reset. Like it's once a year, normally at the end of March, and it goes silent for 24 hours. And it's actually that's wow, because there's no plane is leaving or arriving. There's no car on the street. There's no scooter on the street. There's no boat on the water. It's just quiet. There's no light at night. There's no pollution. There's no nothing. So 24 hours, it's pure bliss, and you really get why people are sticking to the ceremonies of these traditions. And if you would come here during Nyepi, I mean, people say, "Oh, there's nothing to do on the island." Man, sit on the resort, look at the beach, look at the ocean, and suck it in. This is an
Yeah.
amazing experience. Like
Well, it's an energy. It's an energy.
it's a really really good energy. And yeah, again, these traditions, the color of Bali, I think, yeah, it's a color. Bali
Yeah.
has a color what you cannot find anywhere else in the world. And I
No, I
think that
agree. And
I
Christoph,
think
tell us about your background because your family, your grandfather was a butcher, right? And you've
yeah, yeah, yeah.
started in F&B.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that. My heritage, basically, because yeah, my so up to the year or 11 or 12 years old, I was we had a butchery at home. We had two outlets, but it was like a closed circuit. And nowadays it's so trendy, but back then it was a normal thing. And like one of my earliest memories was being in the abattoir when they were butchering pigs, which is, as a kid, nowadays it would be kids cruelty, or it was a way of life. And I think also at that time you respect what is going on there, because that is that is what, and everything is used, and you grow up in a food environment. And I remember my grandfather, who was, he once told me, when you are in the food business, you never go hungry when there are times of war, because he was a prisoner of war, and he experienced all that. So he was like, if I go into food, I'm never going to be hungry. But yeah,
And
this is
how,
how
how
it
did
is.
you transition from food and beverage into luxury
So
hotels?
so from butchery we went to a family-run business. Then 25, I said, okay, what is really going on in the world? The restaurant was doing quite well, and I think I self-taught a lot, and I worked. My work ethics was very, very, as you do in a family business, you work all the time. So, and then I wanted to see like what is out there, because I was in my little, well, not a little kitchen, but I was day and night involved in our own business, and I didn't have a clue what was going on. Traveling was not so. Yeah, I went to Brussels to work in a brasserie there, but that was a short term, because then I got offered a position in Manchester. So the first time I actually was going to go outside actually off the land of Europe. I was only like in Austria and France for some holidays, but that was it. That was never like off the the mainland of Europe. So then I went to the UK, and yeah, I love the hotel industry. I started with Radisson, which is considered a premium brand. It's not pure luxury, but I mean, don't get me wrong, luxury. Radisson is a beautiful company, and I really have very fond memories of working for them. But yeah, so I went into this hotel world, and there was so much going on, and it was big, and it was fast moving, and there was so many people coming in and out, and blah blah.
And
I
of
love.
course, you ended up in Asia. You've lived in both Jakarta and Kuala Lumpur, cities that I also have lived in.
Yes, yes, I know. So yeah, I don't know about you, but I think the big difference between Jakarta and Kuala Lumpur is Kuala Lumpur is more diverse, where Jakarta has a real like it's a cosmopolitan city, business, boom, boom, boom. Everything is there, shopping malls, blah blah, everything is there. But it's more like a financial transactional city. As a tourist, you go to Jakarta, it's going to be a bit boring, to be honest.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean,
Like
I've lived there. I'm talking about living there.
like Kuala Lumpur has much more to offer, like
The tourist,
think
yes, I agree.
culture-wise tourist. If you look at history, like how they go about with historic value and stuff like if you go to Jakarta, you have Batavia, the old city center, which is nice, but there could be done more with it. I mean, this is my point of view, and maybe some people would not agree with that. So I think that's what I'm missing a little bit in Jakarta. But yeah, I mean, it's you're also right. There's food everywhere, everywhere.
But
Like
all over Indonesia, Surabaya, Sumba, like all of the food anywhere in Indonesia is just off the
yeah.
charts. There's so much effort and energy and clean produce. And yeah, I loved it. I loved living in Indonesia. I mean, it's
And Renee, what
absolutely
I
fantastic.
actually had an interesting conversation some years ago with somebody, also a media person, and she told me like the difference between she's British and Europeans. When we think about food, it's in our mind. It's like childhood memories or something like that. But when you are in Southeast Asia and you talk about food, water comes into your mouth. It's more from the taste. Whether for from a Western point of view, I think food is a mindset, where here food has that character where if you're really into this Southeast Asia flavors, it comes from the taste buds. It doesn't come from the mind.
That's
I thought
really
that was
interesting,
a
and it
very
might be to do with the spices because I know what
yes,
she's saying, and when I think of Southeast Asian food, immediately I think of chili and curry
yeah,
flavors and spices, and yeah, that is a more of a physical sensation in the palate than
yeah, yeah.
in the mind.
So I think that was a great statement or a great view of it.
I agree. I like that. And
Yeah.
tell me, as I said, I recently reviewed the Intercontinental in Bali, where you're sitting right now, and I really, really enjoyed it. But what are the highlights of the property for you?
Uh, yeah, I think I like the beach. I mean, but of course, for me, it's also different. I live and work here, right? So I probably don't appreciate it as much as I should. I take things for granted, of course. But yeah, for me, I love the club product. If I was a guest here, I would definitely go for the club to really relax, to experience that Balinese culture. I like the beach here. I like the fact that you can walk to the Jimbaran Fisherman's
Yes.
harbor. So you pick up a few lobsters there, bring them back, put them on the barbie, as they say. So like, yeah, I do like that.
And
But yeah,
tell me about the food offerings, because obviously that's your special area, and there's some beautiful restaurants within the Intercon.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, we have Bella. My favorite spot is Sunset. I like
Mhm.
Sunset. I mean, that's also one of our values, and it's underestimated. But yeah, I do like relaxing at our Sunset Grill bar, and have some nice food, because it's a nice mix of Western and local. So you can have tacos. Or actually, we came up with some babi guling tacos. So it's very Bali inspired tacos. But yeah, like something from the grill, anything lobster. So of course we have Bella. If you want to have a glass of wine, it's also nice. We have a deck there with some nice Mediterranean or Italian food. We have Co, which you mentioned in your introduction. Ko is a favorite, of course, when you like your teppanyaki.
It's
And then,
fun. It's
yeah,
theatre, teppanyaki. It's, we had a lot of fun having dinner there. And there was this family opposite us, all with little kids, and the chef was getting the kids up cooking, and it was really lovely.
no, the chefs, they are very engaging and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Again, that is a bonus here in our mature property. These guys have been around for ages and they know if you're a returning guest, they know you. They will know that how you like your steak cooked. And now they're not gonna ask it, or they will tell you, "Oh yeah, I remember you." And then yeah, that's nice. And then we have the sushi lounge. So we actually our Japanese restaurant has a few parts. So there is the teppanyaki part, and then we have our sushi lounge, which is a bit more traditional Chinese food, but very good. We have a Japanese, very talented chef.
No, that's
Um,
true. And tell
so
me, throughout your career, how has F&B changed? What have you seen and what do you
uh,
think's coming in the future?
it I think it's a major um, for where I come from. It's a very classic approach to culinary. Okay, so when I was going to school, when I set my first foot in the restaurant business or in the kitchen, it was very traditional, and it was still like yeah, meat, potato sauce, veggies kind of plating. We had the nouvelle cuisine wave was like already on its way down because the portions were too small. I guess that's a good thing coming from Belgium. Like they always say, Belgium cuisine, nobody knows about it anyway. Nobody can name one famous Belgian dish apart from mussels, maybe.
Yeah, I was about
Or
to say mussels.
yeah. So, and they coming from Holland, but we consume them all because we do them well, apparently. But yeah, so I think the strength of Belgian cuisine, it's like a mix between French and German, but we have like the French finesse of flavors and the German quantities. So it's not fancy, but it's just good food, good, something like that. So I think that is Belgian food. So
Yeah, but the changes that you've seen?
the changes what we've seen, I think, are more. I think people are getting more maybe bold. Is that a good word?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's more.
In what way? Like,
I think in techniques like you have these trends coming and going, like sous vide cooking. Everything was sous vide some time ago. Some time ago, everything was you have to have pesto in your restaurant. Your menu was
have to have
pesto.
pesto, did you say?
Yeah, pesto. Like it was pesto or ricotta salad. Yeah, everything was on that menu. So it's very. I think it's trend sensitive. Where you used to have a restaurant was a restaurant all around. Now I think it's more trend sensitive. So restaurants will be known for something, whether it's a cooking technique or whether it's where it used to be more all round. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The,
So that
the,
now they're much more feature restaurants and they do teppanyaki
yeah,
or
correct.
omakase or
Correct. I think, but that's maybe a result of globalization, right? So where you would have maybe one Italian restaurant in a city like I don't know, Jakarta. I know probably more, but anyway, smaller cities would have one Italian restaurant. Now there is a lot, and they are teamed, and they are, or maybe from a specific region. Even if you go to Singapore, you will feel that's very much so that they are looking for signatures.
yeah, brilliant. And tell me, when you do travel, do you look to travel in luxury to compare, and go to the sort of same level restaurants, or how do you
Yeah, I
travel?
like both. So
Yeah.
I do like luxury, but I'm also actually now I'm really my mind is set. Tomorrowland, right? The festival.
Yes.
I really want to have a glamping experience there. So
Wow.
I didn't got tickets this year, so it's gonna be next year probably.
Where is it? It's in Europe, isn't it?
Yeah, so I want to go to the original Tomorrowland in Belgium. So that's one of the famous export products from Belgium. Um,
Wow.
but I really want to have a glamping experience there because I do like camping. Like as a kid, I was a Boy Scout, right? I was going to the forest and cooking on an open fire. That was like wow. So I do like that camping site. But yeah, glamping is something I have not experienced yet, and I would love to experience it on a big thing like Tomorrowland. But then, yeah, going back to your question, of course, I like luxury. Another good thing about Kuala Lumpur, there's so many luxury properties that they are becoming competitive. So you can actually get quite good deals there and stay in very, very beautiful hotels. Jakarta is going that way as well, by the way. You can see more luxury properties opening there.
It's amazing. But look, Christoph, it's wonderful to speak with you. And we ask everyone who comes on the show where to from here. And you can talk about what you're doing today, what you're doing next week, or your next project. So, where to from here for you?
Okay, where to from here? It's definitely tonight. I'm going to have a little sunset session with my family. But where to
Beautiful.
from here? I promised a very dear friend for me. I don't know if you know him, Luca Ciano, to visit him in Sydney, and I've never been to Sydney yet. So I
Fantastic.
hope, I hope within the next year that I can visit him in Sydney. And
Is he working in the industry?
yeah, he's actually a little bit of a well celebrity chef. I think he has a food program on Food Network.
I
He
didn't
has a
catch his name, sorry.
Luca Ciano.
Okay, no, I don't know him.
He has a product line as well, and Woolies and all that. So yeah, he's a great friend. I know him for a long time from the industry, and he's a
Brilliant.
wonderful thing. I think it's on BBC Food Network or something like that. I'm not, but he has a few cookbooks as well. Like he's very much into traditional Italian cuisine, and yeah, I enjoy my time. He was here also a few months ago. He loves coming here to unwind because yeah, it's just for him also his life is quite busy and hectic, so he likes to come here with the family and relax
Brilliant. Well,
and
if you
we
come, look me up. We'll have a drink and I'll show you around Sydney. It's
yeah,
a great
absolutely,
city.
absolutely, that would be fantastic. So yeah,
Yeah, and a great
that's
city for
definitely on
food.
the to-do list, and that's yeah, I've never been to Australia, so and while
Wow.
I'm here, it's so close. But yeah, I'm one of those guys who never gets to travel much. When I start working somewhere, I go all the way. I don't spend too much time on sightseeing and traveling,
Yeah.
which I should do.
I understand. Well, it's wonderful to talk to you, and it was really wonderful to meet you at the hotel. And hopefully, we'll see you in Sydney or in your next venue, wherever that is in the world for IHG.
Yeah, let's keep in touch, and thank you so much for talking to me. And yeah, meeting you was already very very pleasant. And yeah,
Absolutely. No, thank you. And it's just always wonderful to speak to people from the luxury hotel industry and find out what they're up to and what's happening. So, thank you.
thank you, Renee.
Bye
Have a
for now.
wonderful day. Bye bye.
Don't forget to subscribe here and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for regular travel updates. You can also hear our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.